Now that we have configured some contract items, let's look how we will use those contract items in a contract template. Under Finance, Accounts Receivable, Configuration, Manage Contract Templates, I can configure my contract templates in this screen. In the Summary section, you have the contract template ID and its description. I also have the active checkbox to notify the user if this template is active or not. Under the Summary tab, you have the contract settings. The contract settings include the contract type. You can select if those contracts are renewable or expiring. If the contract is renewable, any contract items inserted to this template that has renewable items will be invoiced on the renewal date. You can also specify the duration of the contract in years, quarter, month, or custom days. If the refundable checkbox is selected, any contract item that is configured as refundable will be refunded if the contract is terminated. Only when both the contract template and the contract item are selected as refundable does the system generate a credit memo for a refund. The refund period field allows the users to enter a number of days for which you authorize a refund. Since my refund period is 30 days here, if my contract is terminated on the 31st day, the system will no longer generate a credit memo for a refund, considering the refund period is terminated. The Renew Automatically checkbox and the Auto Renew point allow to renew automatically the contract before a certain amount of days prior to the expiration of the contract. As shown here, the system will generate the renewal invoice 30 days before the contract expiration date. The grace period indicates that the activities are allowed on this contract after a certain amount of days after expiration. Per this contract template, the customer has 30 days grace period, which means that I will still be able to log some cases or activities against that contract 30 days after the expiration date. The currency indicates the currency of the contract. The invoices generated from this contract template will be in the currency assigned here. If the Enable Template Items override is selected, then the user, when creating a contract based on this template, will be able to redefine some items or add new ones. If the Automatically Release AR Documents is selected, any invoices created with the contract billing will automatically be released in Accounts Receivable. If it is not selected, the user has to manually release those invoices. The effective from and discontinue after, or the date range for which the contract template can be used to create customer contracts. Now the billing settings. The billing setting contains the billing period, which can be week, month, quarter, or year. As seen previously, you will specify in the Bill To field which customer account you want to invoice. You can bill the contract invoices to your customer account. Maybe you want to bill your contract invoices to your customer parent account. Or you want to bill a specific account that you will assign when creating the customer contract. The Billing Schedule Start On field allows you to select the setup date or the activation date. If you select the setup date, the renewal item and the recurring item will be invoiced when setting up the customer contract. In our example, that would mean that the financial suite, the maintenance, and the support hours are all invoiced when setting up the contract. If you select the activation date in this field, then you would set up your contract and only the financial suite would be invoiced. When activating the contract at a later date, the maintenance and the support hours would be invoiced. In this case, the expiration date is defined from the activation date. The billing format can be detail or summary. The detail format will display all the contract activities on the invoice, where the summary will aggregate the information. Now the case billing settings. The case billing setting contains the case count item. This field allows you to select a non-stock item from the magnifying glass. If you select a non-stock item in this field, the cases will no longer sum the amount of hours spent on each activity, but instead count one case as one billable item, no matter how much billable time I spent on the case. On the Details tab, you will insert all the desired contract items for this contract template. You can modify the quantity on each contract template if desired. The Contracts tab displays all the contracts where this contract template is utilized. On the Slot Terms tab, you will indicate the terms of each case severity. When a case is open and is assigned to a customer contract that is using this template, the slot terms will follow the terms inserted here. On the Attributes tab, you will insert the attributes ID you want to track on the customer contracts. I have inserted the Industry attribute on this template because I wish to track my customer's industry on each contract. Well, now that you saw how to configure contract items and contract templates, please proceed to the hands-on exercises.